No one in my family listened to country music. But I tell people all the time, if you just flip the radio dial a few times, you find anything you like. And for me, without even realizing, I was listening to country music on the alternative rock station.
This is Live at the Hall from the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. This week, we feature a recent performance from singer-songwriter Brittney Spencer in the museum's Ford Theater.
I've been working real hard at people pleasing, pageant dreams at the parlor, reaching for crowns. I don't need another sad whiskey anthem. My self-esteem don't move with this crowd. So I'm gonna drown all this pressure. I'm holding on to something so proven wrong. Time and time again I faked my song just to belong. You thought you had me figured out. Oh well, guess you were wrong. Damn right you're wrong. So wrong. Well, I wonder if they know I left the party. Should friends let their friends drive lonely round here? Trying to live up to the golden standard. It feels like they're enemy by lies. So I'm gonna drown all this pressure. I'm holding on to something so proven wrong. Yeah, time and time again I faked my song just to belong. You thought you had me figured out. Oh well, guess you were wrong. Damn right you're wrong. Damn right you're wrong. Yeah. It's never worth faking my song, trying to be cool, trying to prove I belong, that I belong. You made a box to make me feel small. I couldn't fit in, so I guess you were wrong. Guess you were wrong. Damn right you're wrong. Time and time again I faked my song just to be alone. You thought you had me figured out. Oh well, guess you were wrong. Damn right you're wrong. You're wrong, yeah, you're wrong. Damn right you're wrong. You're wrong, yeah, you're wrong. Damn right you're wrong.
That's such a loaded question. It is. There's Whitney Houston and Mariah, who are my favorite singers of all time. There's Dolly. There's the Chicks, formerly Dixie Chicks. I love them. They were actually my introduction to country music, and I blame them for everything that I do with my life right now. Happily so. Gosh, but then there's artists like Brad Paisley, and there's Sade, and then there's Beyonce, because I think she inspires everyone. Maryland in general is just a huge place for country music. You're from Maryland? Okay, I see it. Represent. M-Town. Never mind. But, Baltimore is a huge hub for country fans. When tours happen, a lot of times they'll go to Maryland, they'll go to D.C., because there's a lot of country music fans. As a matter of fact, the local country station is consistently ranked one of the highest in terms of listenership in the city. And so, also a fun little fact, Maryland is the first state below the Mason-Dixie line. So we still got a little Southern in our roots. And I don't know, no one in my family listened to country music. But I tell people all the time, if you just flip the radio dial a few times, you find anything you like. And for me, without even realizing, I was listening to country music on the alternative rock station. on the school buses, they would play something that the adult bus driver would want to listen to, but also something that wouldn't damage the kids. So the alternative soft rock station was like the best alternative. They played Journey, and they played Mariah Carey and Prince, and they also played the Chicks, and they played Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, and so I kind of got this melting pot growing up, you know, especially just being on the school bus. And my schools were across town. I was driving like 30, 40 minutes every morning because I went to art schools to study classical music, and they weren't anywhere near me. I know this is all musically confusing. Trust me, I recognize it. But that was my introduction, you know. Maryland loves country music, and I didn't see anybody that looked like me playing guitar. I just had India Arie and Tracy Chapman, but for me, I held on to that because I always wanted to play an instrument. If I'm honest, I wanted to play guitar, and I really, really, really wanted to play organ because I grew up in churches where women played organs a lot, and I'm not good at organ. I'm not good at organ or piano for that matter, but I'm half decent and can play behind myself on guitar.
I try to apologize, but I can't seem to find the words. I called you up in August, hoping I could be honest, but you never let me speak, and it hurts me to know you trust in me. Yeah, it hurts me. I let time run out the door, and now my sorries don't work no more. I lie awake, I lie straight to your face in hopes of sparing you the pain. And my head and my heart are prisoners, chained to all they remember. You still look at me the same, and I can't bring my guilty lips to say that it hurts me to know you trust in me. Yeah, it hurts me. I let time run out the door, and now my sorries don't work no more. And you don't owe me anything. I take all the blame. I know it's hard believing any word I say, 'cause if I say out loud I let you down time and time again, my apologies on bending me would never make amends. Now we can't even be friends, and it hurts me to know you trust in me. Yeah, it hurts me. I let time run out the door, and now my sorries don't work no more. My sorries don't work no more. My sorries don't work no more.
Thank you. Y'all are too kind. Y'all are too kind. So I'm a pretty emotional writer. I don't really stray away from my feelings too much. I just pick and choose which ones I should react to, but pretty emotional as a writer, and I like to talk about stories that kind of live in our heads, and sometimes we think we can't say them out loud. And that's where that song, Sorry's, came from. Kind of that place of wanting to say things. It wasn't something that I actually wanted to say. This song is actually an apology that I wish I received from someone else. I definitely have a lot of songs that I've been writing, especially over the last 6 months, that are from third person and can be a little more universal. I think when I released my EP this past December, it was just 4 songs, and it was a snapshot of where I was in 2018 and some of 2019, because that's when all those songs were written. And it was just something on my chest and something in my heart. I didn't think anybody would even hear these songs, honestly, so it was easy to do. But I think the more that I'm on the road and I get to connect with people, and the more I get to have these interactions where I chat with people, the more I want to write from other people's perspectives and write things that are a little more, I guess, for everybody and not just for me. I got serious about guitar when I moved to Nashville. When I moved here, I watched a movie called The Yes Man with Jim Carrey. It's a great movie if anyone wants to watch something tonight. But basically, he just had to do anything anyone asked of him. And someone told me, you should learn how to play guitar. You should really take it seriously this time. And I thought, let's do it. And I cut my nails, which I still struggle with today. I cut my nails and I did the whole thing. And I watched a YouTube video, and I had a roommate who knew 4 chords. And I just kept watching YouTube, and I just taught myself how to play. And I was scared. Honestly, I was scared to play in front of people. I was so subconscious. I learned how to play guitar sitting down, so even the idea of playing and standing up was a huge deal to me. And I was scared to go to all the places, and I was like, I don't think I make bar music. I'm too sad. and so my friend said, you should go busk downtown, and I did. I went busking downtown Nashville on Broadway. I guess we are downtown. But I did that for 2 summers, and it was a great time, and I learned so much. But that was that was my crutch, and it was a safe place for me to be able to explore this new guitar adventure I was on. So yeah, 8 years ago, I started playing for real. But this next song comes from some of my biggest inspirations as well, the Highwomen, who I love very, very much. They were so gracious to, some way, somehow, some weird stroke of luck, magic, prayers, everything else that exists. They saw my video that I posted on Twitter of this song, and they invited me to come and sing with them. And it happened this past weekend. I sang with the Highwomen as a Highwoman and sang. They invited me to come and sing with them, and this was back in October 10th of 2020, and I sang with them this past weekend in Napa Valley in front of 50,000 people, and holy shit. I hope y'all don't mind cussing, because there's a lot of cuss words that's about to happen for the next 45 minutes, but they let me sing this song with them.
You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I can be a mountain when you're feeling valley low. I can be a street light showing you the way home. And you can hold my hand when you need to let go. Yeah, I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. If you want a garden, you're gonna have to sow the seed. Plant a little happiness and let the roots run deep. it's love that we give, then it's love that we breathe. If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seed. Yeah, I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. The door is always open, and your picture's on my wall. Everyone's a little broken, and everyone belongs. Yeah, everyone belongs. Yeah, I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done, and bring us back together when the day is done.
Dude, if I had the answer to that, I might sleep better at night. I have no idea. Well, I guess Andrew. Maybe my manager sent the email. I don't know, but the way that this has all happened, I mean, my debut was in May, and I've since sang there like three. I'm gonna sing a fourth time on Monday. I'm shocked. Thank you. Honestly, the way that country music has opened its doors to me has been so completely overwhelming. You know, when you put out music, you just don't know if people are going to hear it, at least as a new artist like me. You just don't know if people are going to hear, if people are going to listen. You just have no idea that people will even connect with it. You just know that these songs are good to you. And so to receive the honor of being able to be invited to the Opry, it was a moment, one that I'm still processing to this day, because it's just that big for me. So I have this element of my music where I like to sing about humanity, and that was honestly the most frightening thing for me when I was making my EP called Compassion. Even in this song that I'm about to play, the title track, Compassion, I talk about homelessness, I talk about food scarcity or food security, I talk about people who protest like me, people who care about causes. I talk about war. And I was thinking about this song this morning because I just came back late last night from New York, and of course, in the air, you can kind of feel where people are remembering that today is the 20-year anniversary of September 11th and that horrible, just fatal day. It's weighing on my head and my heart, and I think so many of us are feeling it as well. And of course, we all have our own takeaways in how we come together and how we deal with those sorts of tragedies. And I think today my takeaway is I want to be a little more compassionate, because we're all dealing with something, and this world is a really hard one to navigate. And so if we can be a little more compassionate, I don't know, maybe that could do some shit in the world.
If a half-empty stomach makes you hangry, imagine life for people on the street. If a neighbor's untamed yard can drive you crazy, Imagine seeing bombs break through their concrete. Image is something of importance only when you've got anything to prove. Well, the world just don't seem fair when all is left you is little or nothing to lose. Live your life and have your fun and share it with everyone you love. Raise your kids and raise your glass for every single freedom that we have. And while we're looking for the next best thing to happen, heaven pray we all find some compassion. All of those bodies walking signs across the pavement, crying out for justice to prevail. It's not another traffic inconvenience. One day we'll see the history is being made. Could we let empathy repair what hatred breaks? Live your life and have your fun and share it with everyone you love. Raise your kids and raise your glass for every single freedom that we have. And while we're looking for the next best thing to happen, heaven pray we all find some compassion. It's not always a big event, time or money that we spend trying to make the world a better place. It's usually just a helping hand, an open mind, the will to stand those hard conversations with folks we thought we figured out. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Oh, live your life and have your fun and share it with everyone you love. Raise your kids and raise your glass for every single freedom that we have. Feel good when you catch on to that new catchphrase. Change your style, change the channel, change your name. But while we're looking for the next best thing to happen, heaven pray we all find some compassion. Oh, heaven pray we all find some